scheduled for 3 rounds in the featherweight division. Please welcome first, fighting out of the blue corner, representing Team Savage, Nestor Yuja.
Nestor Yuja, 1-2. It doesn't say here where he's represented by. Looks to be in shape, fit, looks calm.
And now please welcome, fighting out of the red corner, representing Manchester, BJJ, Jack Maycock.
Huge pop from the crowd for Jack Maycock, local fighter here in Connecticut. Maycock undefeated after just one bout. Obviously looking to make it 2 in a row. Third man in the ring is Brian Miner. Started here in New England and now officiates all over the world. Nestor Yuja in black, Jack Maycock in loose white.
Jack digging for that underhook. If he can get him against the cage, he's a little bit taller, he can keep his head underneath his chin, control him against the cage. Oh, going for guillotine.
Beginning of an arm in guillotine in place. This is an amateur bout. There are no knees to the face, no elbows to the face.
Nestor needs to use some hand control, get better head position, use that underhook to get him to the cage.
Once again, Joe Cuff, matchmaker's done a great job here. They're exchanging a lot of very similar techniques.
Jack doing a good job using his height.
During the amateur grappling bouts that we saw earlier, the competitors were not allowed to use the cage. In MMA, that cage is an integral part of the sport, sort of a vertical fence, a vertical mat.
Nestor clipped him with a good left hand right there. Created their grappling exchange. This position right here, Jack needs to lower his level a little bit and put his head underneath Nestor's chin and control him against the cage. Use that overhook and that underhook to control him and keep him there. Keep working those knees to the body and stay active. Same thing Nestor could do right now. They're in that over-under position, that very common grappling, wrestling position. Right here, head underneath the chin, push his head towards the top of the cage, and then you know where to punch, right above your head.
Nestor showing a little bit more aggression with his strikes. Jack showing a little more with the submission attempts.
Good front kick to the body. Nestor is definitely looking to exchange, and he is landing a lot of these punches that he's throwing. Keep his hands up a little bit, maybe cut an angle, and he can land some strikes. Jack's doing a good job of coming forward, keeping his hands up. He needs to throw some punches, though. Throw a little bit more punches.
Jack trying to get in, try and tie his opponent up, maybe look for that submission, but he's eating some leather on the way in.
And for not everybody that's experienced it, this over-under position, this dirty boxing, this knees, the grappling, using the cage, it's tiring. It is very exhausting to stay in this position and just keep working.
This over-under against the cage is one of the great tests of strength in this sport. 3-minute round, not 5 here. These are amateur fighters. Excellent first round. Rob, who did you like in that round?
I would say I'm going to give that one 10-9 to Nestor, because that second exchange of grappling, they went to the cage, was from a heavy left hand that he landed on Jack. So I'm going to say 10-9 for Nestor.
We are both in agreement, but of course, we are not officials seated ringside. The ringside officials are excellent. We've got Marcel Valera, Dave Torelli, the great Dave Torelli, and Mike Murdoch.
Yep, they're showing the replay right here. He landed a right hand, he landed a straight left, and that kind of caused Jack to create that grappling exchange against the cage. And Jack does very well there. He does do a good job getting his opponent to the cage. Like I was saying, maybe if you just concentrate a little bit more on slowing down, control against the cage, better head control with his head, I think he could be a lot more efficient there and maybe get a takedown. Nestor's scrappy though, he's got good hands. He looks to be a little bit more tired, but ready to go. Control his breathing, keep his hands up, he'll do well.
Nestor received some excellent advice from his corner, Randy the Savage Rowe. And he is a quintessential Team Savage fighter. He just lets those hands go.
There he goes. Nestor does a great job of exchanging on the way out too. He doesn't just back out, he's throwing punches on the way out.
There it is. Good call, Rob.
Good to the body, straight to the head. I think he's getting a little bit more comfortable. Yep. Jack needs to throw some punches here. Throw some more straight punches, throw a jab out there at least, keep him off you. Maybe stay away from looping punches and use his length to use some straight punches to keep his fighter at range. Here he goes for the takedown, finish. Oh! Good job by Nestor, scrappy kid. He's got to get his hands up though. Can't keeping his hands down.
I'm very impressed.
Good spinning back fist there.
Very impressed by Nestor going to the body like that. You don't see it a lot in mixed martial arts, especially against the beginning fighters, but it's an old saying, kill the body, head will die, and it is true.
He's landed some heavy punches.
Gonna see him hitting the break again.
There we go. Jack needs to throw some more punches here. He's throwing some kicks like right here. He's right in his range where he can almost touch him. He's the longer fighter and he needs to use his length. He's kind of giving him the opportunity to fight in the pocket every time he closes the distance without a punch. There's one.
Nestor's doing a good job of checking those.
Good to the body. He keeps landing that left to the body. Only advice I can give with Nestor is he keeps circling to his left, which is Jack's power hand. I would circle the other way, throw some straights and then a looping punch for your second punch, just like that, right to the body. Almost like he heard me. Stay busy here. Jack needs to just stay busy. Good head control right there. Yup. Oh. Both men working the knees.
Jack's eating some shots in order to get into this clinch inside. There you go. He's got to be aggressive with it because he's down a little bit getting into that position.
He's got the underhook again right here. If he lowered his level, used his head, he could get it easier to get to his hips, easier to take him down.
You know, offensively in this position, the head can be thought of as a third hand if it's utilized properly.
Both guys came in shape though because they're both staying very active. Good fight. But Nestor doesn't want to stay here. Sometimes too, a lot of people forget you can use the cage. So what he should do is he should push his heel against the cage, put his foot up against the cage and maybe bump his hips out, get Jack's hips away from him so he can maybe circle away from the cage and just not stay in this over-under position.
Nestor wants to make some room and go back to what I believe won him that first round.
Yep.
We could well be 1-1 here. If that is the case, whoever wins this third and final round wins this fight.
I agree. What we see here on the replay. Good exchange, right to grappling. Yeah, that's that's the tough
And
thing,
folks,
is
just
it's
a
always easy
reminder
to sit
about
out
the
here and say, you
official
know,
after-party
someone should
taking
do this,
place
someone should
at
do that, but
Comics
very different when you're in there. But my
right
advice for
next
Jack
door
would be
of the arena.
to definitely
Come
just
meet
use
the
that jab,
fighters
use
and
that
the
length.
ring
He seems
car
to have the height
girls,
advantage and
again,
the length
at the
advantage in this.
after-party at Comics Roadhouse.
And he really needs to use that. Pump the jab out, keep him away from him, and kind of create a little bit more angles. Maybe land some punches.
Absolutely. We've got experts in the corner on both sides. Nobody knows exactly which way the judges saw this. You've got to tell your guy you've got to win this round to win this fight. I think they're going to come out throwing. Nestor backed off the gas just a little bit in round 2. I think he wants to turn it up.
To the body again. There he goes. Jack needs to let his hands go just like that. Let that right hand go again.
Jack's got his marching orders. No more trying to tie your opponent up. Time to take your opponent's head off.
Nestor's doing a great job staying busy to that body. A lot of punches, a lot of knees. Jack has to circle here. He can't just keep walking forwards and backwards without throwing punches. He's going to eat something every time. Circle, Jack. Nestor's doing a great job staying busy. Keep his hands up, protect his face. Nice uppercut there. Ooh, clipped him with that hook on the way in.
Nestor's punches are a little bit wild, but sometimes those unorthodox punches are the ones that get through.
Jack can't stand in front of him without throwing punches like that and keeping his head on center. Ooh, shot to the groin.
Under the unified rules of mixed martial arts, the fighter who received the low blow has up to 5 minutes to recover. I don't believe that Nestor's going to take that long. He is a Team Savage fighter.
I've learned the unfortunate way before. I took a pretty bad groin shot in the first round of one of my fights. And
Jump back in too quick?
Like 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's a mistake.
The longer I was waiting, the more that ache kind of set in, and I was like, I got to get myself going again. So it does not help. Could definitely drain you.
There it was. That was a low blow. Textbook definition, straight up the middle. Pain playing across.
Jack just needs to stay a little bit busier with his hands, keep his hands going here, land those straight punches, keep his length, use his length, and he can, like we said, could be one apiece.
And Jack's got to keep those kicks up. One more low kick like that, there is going to be a point deduction very, very hard to pull this fight off.
Nestor seems to be struggling a little bit with that, but he says he's ready to go. There we go.
No hard feelings, touch of the hands. Now we're back to the hard feelings. Nestor just doing a beautiful job of going to the body. It's so unusual in mixed martial arts, especially in the amateur ranks. You tend to get nothing but head hunting. One minute left in this contest.
It's a great fight. Only criticism really is for both of them, just maybe step off that center line a little bit more. Cut a little bit more of an angle, use a little bit more footwork, a little more head movement. It's easier to say when you're not tired, but they just got to get that head movement a little bit more. Oof. Good exchange.
Yeah, there is a thing called the pocket, which is where both fighters can reach each other at the same time. And these two men are not afraid to stand in that pocket and fire at each other.
They've been there pretty much the whole time. Great fight.
What a fantastic exhibition of mixed martial arts. I'm very, very eager to see how the judges view this. For those of you watching the broadcast, if the judges don't see it your way, it doesn't mean necessarily that they missed something that you saw. Judges are all positioned in different spots around the cage, and they literally see different fights. Furthermore, judges are told to direct their eyes to the spot in between the two fighters. And a lot of times, if you're a fan of a fighter, you're watching your fighter, and so you're, of course, naturally going to see more of your fighter's blows landing than the opponent's. But whichever way this goes, we've got excellent, excellent officials here cage side. And I believe they are going to render a fair and just decision to the best of their ability. One of my favorite things in mixed martial arts is when the fighters go, it always happens, they go and speak to their opponent's corner. Just showing this is a very, very aggressive sport, but it's not personal.
No disrespect to either fighter, but I would say, or to Jack, but I would give it to Nestor. He was just a little bit busier with punches, but like you said, you never know what the judges see.
You don't. I saw it for Nestor, 29-28.
Yep, I agree.
Conceivably even 30-27, but nothing's going to surprise me right now. Just in time to hear how the judges are calling it. We are joined by Joe Leonard. We now have a three-man desk.
Ladies and gentlemen, how about a round of applause for both of our fighters?
How you doing, Joe?
And now, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scores.
I'm doing great, Rob.
Judge A
Thank
scored
you.
this bout
Now we got you.
30-27.
We're joined now by
Judge
Joe
B
Leonard,
scored this bout 29-28.
veteran of reality
And
fighting,
Judge C
in and
scored
out
this
of the
bout
cage.
29-28. For your winner,
How you been?
by unanimous
I'm doing good. I was
decision,
just
Nestor Yuja!
just taking care of some of our online subscribers tonight.
Beautiful.
Having a little issue getting logged in. So if you're joining us, thank you for all your patience. Really appreciated you taking my call.
Nestor, man.
We were
Awesome
correct,
fight.
sir.
You guys were going 100% right when that bell rang. First round, he was clinching you a little bit, not letting you, throw your hands. But second and third round, you were able to throw your hands. You did an awesome job. You went upstairs, then you went to his body, then you were throwing kicks. You were all over the place. I definitely thought you won that fight. Congratulations. When you guys were training, was that the plan, to just do everything?
Hey man, I love me some grappling, but these win fights, you know what I mean? People want to see people get punched in the face and the belly. That's the game plan usually.
Yeah, it was an awesome job. Congratulations, awesome job, Nestor. Thank you.